Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second game of the European segment of ECS Season 7. We opened things up with Astralis LDLC, bit of a blowout, 2-0, what we expected. This one though, Virtus.Pro versus FaZe, I feel like could be a little bit more competitive. We're not sure what to expect from Virtus.Pro. We just saw FaZe arguably underperform at the major. Maybe we'll jump in with those guys first. Where do you feel like FaZe are right now, James? Were you impressed with their performance over at the major recently?
I thought it was kind of the average. I think it was like a middling of what you could expect, really. Yeah. I think that there are things that they need time to work on. Adren being in the team, it seems unclear, right? Because when we heard rumors who's on the team, I thought, okay, this is cool, but you know, there's a lot of ego on FaZe, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's good to have ego, right? But like if you're trying to find the best fit for a player, some people may not be willing to, for example, give a position up. But it said that he was a stand-in. It didn't say he was on a trial. I think if there's a difference, like if you're a stand-in, you're just like, okay, take these roles which are free. Sure. If you're on trial, you're like, okay, let's see if we can fit this guy in the team. But it seems like it is a trial, even though they said it was a stand-in. Anyway, I think that they need to be willing to adjust to find a way for the team to gel. And that's something that's going to be an ongoing process. Nice
little breakdown of FaZe there. Dan, moving on to Virtus.Pro, a team that's got a massive question mark around them right now. We got to cast them a lot in the last season. Up and down results, a couple of victories, a couple of blowouts as well. Have you been following their latest additions?
I haven't really been following their progress with this new lineup. Obviously, we saw bits and pieces of it previously, and it just feels like, you know, Virtus.Pro Evolved has had that sort of real energy and the raw firepower sort of just taken down a few notches, and it's just kind of settled into that tier 2, 3-ish level, and it doesn't really seem like they have any spark at the moment. So I'm looking forward to seeing whether or not the new addition, getting, you know, a youngster in there, or I say youngster, I think the newest player is, I think it's like 21 years old or so. But I'm hoping that there'll be some spark, because when you watch teams like this, you just...
Have you got like a locust on your t-shirt?
Yeah, you've got something going on there.
You what?
James.
It's like, what is that? Is it dead? It's not moving.
I have no idea what that
is. It's a
creature
creature of some variety. Here we go. Zoom in on that.
I think
Enhance.
It's dead. You got a dead fly on you. Look, it's not moving at all.
Well, while we're dealing with that,
fly on your chest?
Let's bring up the veto. At least we'll see the maps and we'll see what's going to be going on.
I thought it was a brooch.
In this particular game, it is FaZe versus Virtus.Pro.
No.
As the madness ensues here, we'll have a look at the maps. Nuke will be removed and Overpass first map will be Train. Moving to Inferno, and it looks like we'll finish off on Paper Cache. So there we go. What is it, James? Can we find out?
It's a B,
but
it's like, I think it's dead.
It
I think it died. I think it died on Dan.
That's the level of energy he has. Do we need to call anyone, or is this fine?
Hold on. I'm sorry, but I need to. We need to do more of this.
Zoom in.
We need to do more of this. What exactly do you have in mind?
He's going to take a photo. He's going to document
video.
Okay.
Right. Well,
so we're live, and Dan has a dead animal on his t-shirt. Look.
It's an insect, James. So I just don't want to get technical, but
it's really, it's dead.
So you get it all here at ECS.
Dead on contact, dead on arrival.
Wildlife, gaming, drones, shoes, everything really. Are you going to keep it there? Removed. Like a brooch, he's keeping it?
I don't know.
It kind of looks right there.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
It's a bit worrying, because I do when like, you know, bees and wasps are in that proximity, you know, you do worry about you.
I can't say I've ever had an animal die on me.
So it landed on your body, died upon contact. And what's his name again? Sorry, what did you call it?
Nothing about Dan makes sense.
What's his name, Dan? We've got to name it.
I don't know. James noticed it first. I feel like
Bobby the Dead Bee.
Bobby the Bee. I think that's fine. We'll keep him there for the rest of the show. Maybe we'll get his predictions up as well. We'll see where this one's going. Speaking of which, shall I get your predictions now? We'll start having a look at that and seeing what's going to go down.
I feel like it ran out of... It just dug its legs in. And then just ran out of energy and I'm done.
We'll start with Connor Blomfield. Sliggy, where are you at with this?
That sounds like
Virtus.Pro. He's going with FaZe. Daniel Capadia.
Predictions brought to you by Pinnacle.
What is your prediction?
It's going to be FaZe. Yeah.
Bobby the Bee and Dan say FaZe. James, you going FaZe as well?
Yeah, I have to. Based on what we know versus what we don't know. We don't know Virtus.Pro, so I'll pick what we know, which is FaZe.
I tend to agree. It has to be FaZe on paper here. I feel like this will be a closer game though. FaZe, the problem is I have with this particular game is, yes, we saw them struggle.
We need smelling salts.
Are we cool here?
I'm sorry, it's distracting.
It's very distracting.
He
But
just
isn't
here
it?
and just staring.
It's just strange.
where was I going with this? Let's talk about FaZe, the team we know a bit more about. They had a very close call. We discussed it earlier in the broadcast, actually. That Dust 2 game against Complexity, where they almost crashed out, didn't make it to the final 8. They certainly have their issues right now. I feel like it's more of...
Sorry, it's still there.
We can focus on the B if you want. So your guys' show.
I don't want to interrupt you, Henry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's just hard. I can see it in the program monitor. It's just a dead bee on his chest for the whole segment. It's 3 of us and a dead guy.
It's a first, I think. Even for this show, we've never had dead animals on the broadcast. So this is new. Uncharted territory, perhaps.
I actually, by prodding it with my pen, its wings are now like up. So it's in a I want to say a pretty position.
Yeah. Anyway,
What are you saying?
we're going to have a look at the odds for this game. We'll have a look. Brought to you by Pinnacle.com. Check them out. They're providing all the odds. They're the bookmaker of this tournament. It is going to be FaZe. So the heavy favorites, as you can see. Do you guys know how odds work? I can explain it if you like, or we can just move on. No, we'll move on. Dan's lost his mind. Hopefully this game will start very shortly.
What we need from Pinnacle,
so
okay,
weird.
we need Pinnacle on if this bee is going to leave.
Why don't we try and bring it back to
of
life?
its own accord,
How can we resuscitate
or if
it?
we will have to manually remove it?
Put it
What
on
are the odds on that?
Dan, put it on the table. Let's see if we can perform an operation of some sort. Let's bring it back to life with some warmth. Maybe put it next to a warm cup of coffee
We've
or
got a
something.
top-down camera here.
Yeah, put them on there. Let's bring it back to life.
Be,
We could perform a
Don't put it on my
resurrection.
drone.
Use your hand. What are you doing?
Trying to be gentle. If
Oh.
you, I mean, do you want me to just flick it?
No,
What
why don't you
about the
pick him up
damage?
nicely, lovingly.
Okay.
Put him down.
Honey. Go on then.
There we go. Yeah, some honey. Yeah, give him that. Put some honey down and put him inside
Oh,
it.
it's sticky, unsurprisingly.
Come on, let's do this.
There's a great
Can we
David,
just have a look
David
at the honey,
Mitchell
please?
bit on this.
Can we have a look at the honey? Top-down camera for the honey. Look at this. Look. It's still there.
Look at this.
It's got cute little eyes, and, you know, it's honey.
The life
So
force of all bees.
Let's just...
Dan, please insert the bee.
This is like
Don't insert the bee.
That's-
Don't compromise the honey.
Put him
What are you
on.
doing? Don't put
I'm
honey
not
on
going
me.
to
What?
squeeze it. I'm just going to let him have a sniff in it.
Yeah, it might wake him
That's
up.
like more honey than
Thank
any
God for that.
in my life.
We're into the game, ladies and gents. FaZe on the T side here.
Save the bee!
And it looks like they've got a 4-man stack on the CD side as the smokes are deployed. Nico, the P250, looking to open things up, and he does so in emphatic style. Lovely shot towards Snacks, and he's not done just yet. FaZe do have outside control, but there's still plenty of CTs, but not for long. Oh my God, James, it's an absolute disaster as it's just one player left for Virtus.Pro. Bomb down. So what can he do with this one? Maybe not much. Dan, put the axe down. The bee deserves to live, if indeed he is alive.
1 versus 3. They always drop the P250 to Nico, and that's a good example of why that extra range is so important versus a Glock and a pistol round. And there is round number 1 for FaZe. A solid performance from Nico. Off camera, Dan picked up the Supreme Axe to remove the B. I suggest you go to the bathroom where you can see yourself in the mirror without the axe and then remove it. Great one-taps from Nico.
Yeah,
Again,
beautiful.
just shy of double the one-shot range, the P250 over the Glock. And Virtus.Pro on a pretty clean round. Snacks has picked up a Zeus, which, again, doesn't give you much money, but definitely takes a lot of money away. So if you can get into position to use it, then it is a worthy investment. This time it will not really work out for him, though. We've got trades towards the IV position with a 3-man push from the CT side, so they've got something out of this.
Something, not much. But a Mac 10. 4 versus 3. Bialy will have the Mac 10. Remember, Snacks back in this lineup now. There hasn't been that much hype or excitement around the newly formed Virtus.Pro. Yes, a couple of the big names remain, but overall it's still very much in its building stage. We'll see whether this game will show us otherwise. The bomb will be planted, the round will be going in favor of FaZe. It's just at the VP now whether they can actually take away some weapons. Is that B still doing things? I've got to get a look at this. It
Seems
looks
to
like
have,
it's very
some kind
old.
of just the claw game of this B is unreal.
I think it tried to sting me and then just died. It like stung the shirt and died.
Okay. The B is on the... We can inspect the B
Oh
later.
my God.
Taxidermy. Let's get a knife.
All right, so things are going well for FaZe. Nice clean little anti-eco rounds into the buy of Virtus.Pro. And I would like to see 2 AWPs, no armor. They're not brave enough. Only 1 naked AWP. Snatchy we see the stuff we've seen from Snatchy. We know that his peaks are pretty incredible.
We don't see it all that often, though.
But
I do agree with you. They are up there, but there
like,
needs to be more consistency with that.
It's very scary though. Like
yeah.
it's if he finds that consistency, well, speaking of consistency, the org has been so consistent for everyone. Basically using it these days. On the CT side of Train is so useful, especially as you can see from the Ivy position. The scope really brings a really lovely engagement for you around the side of those trains. There's crossfires at range. I mean, he used to be able to walk out there, Henry, with that AK-47.
Yeah.
Just full confidence. You'd be up against M4s. You're like, I can win this all day.
Well, that's a very typical round from FaZe there. If you win the first two and knowing they're buying on the third, you're trying to punish. Excuse me 1 second. You're trying to punish the fact they're not fully equipped. They don't have everything they need, but you're right. With the addition of the AUG, CTs now do have a fighting chance, especially on long-range engagements, which you get a lot of on Train. Speaking of which, here's the Desert Eagle. Pretty handy in that department too, but Rain swallows a couple of grenades and he'll be sent packing, I'm afraid. They did not force buy into this round. They've got Deagles, no armor, no nades. So just looking for those one-taps there. Snatchy, good position. Might want to consider getting back, but holding strong for now. Nice shot towards Nico, and he has full control of the Brown Horse from now. So 5 versus 3, maybe 2 in a second. Spots the shot, and it'll be Guardian to go down. You'll see a lot more from him as the rounds progress. He's waiting to get his AWP out as well. Doesn't look like FaZe will be causing much of a dent here.
The new sound of the high explosives, it's quite punchy, I like it. When Danger Zone was released, the sound of the high explosive grenade changed. I don't know if it was meant to change in the game or not, but it stayed so.
We haven't had
so.
the sounds of CSGO in a while. You guys ever going to bring that back?
Oh, we have some. We have
in the can, ready to go.
We have a bunch of them actually, but I think have the M4A1.
Silence?
It's going to be the first one. No. Just a normal one. Okay. The M4, sorry, the M4, because some people say the M4A4 doesn't actually exist in real life. Some people say it does, but an M4 is like just a massively modded gun. So
sure. Anyway,
M4 in general. M4 and Flamethrower should be up soon. As they should.
Ooh.
It's a lovely shot from Snatchy. He's a fantastic AWPer, I think. It's reasonable to say. He's a great addition to Virtus.Pro. Obviously, wasn't enough to change the fortunes of the former squad, but he is an absolute savage. He may have seen an elbow, so I think he'll be ready, maybe visualizing a third player there. But
Virtus.Pro historically have never had that full-time AWPer. It's always been between Neo, Pasha, and Snacks, of course, and now Snatchy coming in. He does look very powerful, maybe overstaying his welcome there. So though, in he goes. He gets the frag, but goes down to a 3 versus 2. All off in a Dren here. Plenty of time. And certainly recovered the AWP. As they slow things right down. Smoke deployed towards inside. Might want to get that AWP considering the situation, but happy with the AK for now. Doesn't look good for FaZe. Bomb with them. Heading towards Pop Dog. 45 seconds remain now. This kill, very important. Bialy just offers himself up, and that goes down to the 2-on-2.
Go for that quick plants for Ivy and Pop. Mihu coming in from old Bomb. Oh, he's got a spot on there to where Dren knows one's hell. That's good information. Now can he somehow get, or help Snacks to get into position? Coming in from Pop Dog can be difficult sometimes. You can get locked into that position without proper distraction. It's a nasty choke point to contend, but looks like he'll be able to get his way out. And oh, he definitely had a chance there, but it's not gone his way. And Mihu's not really left with all that much he can do at this point. 2 players hiding behind the trains, just baiting shots but not committing. And running across, there's Bold from Olafmeister, but they'll win the rounds nonetheless. And the money is going to be harmed for Virtus.Pro, but they'll still have plenty to get the AWPs rolling in for a Snatchy. I'd like to see them move Snatchy around a lot.
That's what you have to do on this map. So you saw him at upper ramp in the previous rounds. Just because you normally have a solo anchor player on the B-bomb side, you want to show presence from the AWP, just so they have to use utility. They're not going to jump Brown Halls every single time, knowing they can get control of that. You put the AWP there 1 every 4 rounds, you're going to have to Molotov up. You're going to have to flash smoke in and make sure that he's not there. So it just poses a threat at the start of those big rounds, but you're right. Virtus.Pro certainly have enough to buy into this one, and FaZe a little bit hamstrung. You can see they've got a UMP and a Galil. These sort of rounds, you want to do 5-man executes. You want to make sure you're going in together and trading out kills. Toa this time holding with the AWP. Decent grenade. There's a lot of damage towards Rain. He'll be holding by himself for now, as we talk about the anchor. He's trying to buy time with the smoke, and Snacks. Lovely kill towards Adren. Now they want to hold on to this advantage. That's what they struggled with before. As Snatchy gets 2 kills, should have fallen back, but this time everyone survives, and they've got the lead.
It's a really good punish there, actually. It's a really good demonstration as to one of the many reasons why CTs will play very close to that ladder, because also you get, like, you can avoid pop flashes pretty easily, unless the pop flash is done perfectly. But if they throw it down too far, or they try to bounce it, or bounce the other nades, you can catch them off guard. It's pretty awesome to watch that position played effectively. I always like watching Elige on that spot. But either way, the T's of FaZe are now gathering up. They're 4 versus 5. They've got to make a move into a bomb site. They've chosen B. And the setup actually between Snacks and Toa is actually very good. Not committing, just trying to delay the push.
Snacks with a lot to do, only good for the 1 kill and traded. 28 seconds for the bomb to go down. There's a Molotov in the default position. Guardian waiting it out, but it seems he'll be going for the plant. The side plant, in fact, but it's, I think it's almost someone who's almost going to face him. Nico over 1 tap. Mihu is there, cleaning up house. Olofmeister with so much to do. The bomb is planted for him with 2 HP and 2 plays to find. He's going to be very, very quick and fast. Close, but no cigar this time. Smoking's bad for your health.
Certainly is, James. Well, that is going to be 3-3 Virtus.Pro. Answering back and actually resetting FaZe. The bomb is planted. But as you can see, fun's still not that strong. They could buy this. I would suggest probably not worth it. They're going to get 1900 on top of what they have right now if they lose this round. And at that point, they've got a decent buy, including an AWP. So I think that's what they'll go for. Probably an inside rush or a delayed push just to try and get the bomb planted. They get 1 smoke, a flashbang. They are actually force buying at the last few moments here. Going to try and reset. It's the more aggressive approach. Both certainly viable. Would have had a stronger buy next round, but they're trying to take the economy down with them if they can. Virtus.Pro trying to suss out what they're up against. You'll see FaZe trying to avoid choke points at the start of the round. They want to hide the fact they've got the AK-47. An execution looking likely. Smokes towards outside, and then an inside push coming through. And you can see Toa is actually very far back here. They're going to have a chance to get the lower round. Good nade, but he takes damage for it. But offer some back. Bomb will be planted. 5 on 5.
And they're trying to gain control of the forward spaces of the yard. They've done so successfully. They've locked out the CTs from Connector. And there's another smoke as well. That's very problematic. They have to come through CT. They'll be able to do so, but this is wasting a lot of time. And they do have kits, but time is very precious. And with the rain still able to lurk this position with the CZ, that is a huge, huge problem. He finds the timing with the flashbang, but doesn't get anything from it. So now just down to 3 as FaZe try to hold on, but they don't seem to be able to do so.
That's going to be in vain because I think the smoke's already down. So a nice idea with the Molotov, but the round has gone in favor of VP. Very close. You can see they didn't have the smoke. The round was probably going to go in favor of FaZe. They get inside. They managed to get a plant down. 5 on 5 at one of those kills. One of those aggressive pushes of the flashes had to yield some sort of success. Didn't work out for them, and that's the force buy from FaZe. Getting a plant, but ultimately leading them to an eco here as they lose the lead. It's going to be 4-3. Actually, like, look at this VP. They actually look pretty decent so far, as they lost a pistol, but the gun rounds, they've been pretty efficient. Good retakes, and they're fighting.
That's a fair percentage for Virtus.Pro, 24%. Solid. See if they can deliver on it, though. Pistols out for FaZe Clan. 2 Desert Eagles, a P250 on terrain, and 2 Glocks. Snatchy surely expected to escape from that. That is a big pickup. Virtus.Pro not in a position to stop this weapon from being collected. So now with a minute 25 on the clock, that AWP could technically go anywhere to try and get an opening. I
was going to say, this boost makes a lot of sense now. You've got so much time. Might as well see what Guardian can do with it. They don't spot anyone in the boost, so won't attempt it again. They've got 1 smoke and a flash. Remember, no armor here, but Guardian on the AWP is enough to win this round. Absolutely.
And now the CTs have to take risks. Virtus.Pro putting Mihu through the IV position.
Yeah.
Big gambles being taken to try and get the information. Again, so much time on the clock. 1 poorly positioned Virtus.Pro player, and that could be the round for FaZe.
With that push, though, seeing nothing towards that area, they've actually sort of regrouped, reinforced the B-bomb site with an extra player. They've got Bialy obviously watching the Pop Dogs for fast flank or to block them if they try to go through Pop. So they have every this is a good setup here overall from VP. The only thing is that Toa is fairly isolated in that position. It can be strong, but if his teammate goes down immediately, it can fall apart. So we'll have to see if the timing works out. They're all coming from upper here. They want to use that AWP of Guardian to lead. And there goes Toa. It's good for 2. That's not bad, but Olofmeister's got 2 himself with a dig. And now there's problems for VP.
Certainly is. Guardian still has the AWP and an incendiary in his back pocket. 3 versus 2. Bomb ticking away, and Mihu looking for the picks. His teammate, Bialy, coming on the flank, but there's Guardian. A rare miss from him. That could cost him his life. Incendiary deployed, but surely Guardian does not get out. He actually does. Perfectly timed, and this is wasting so much energy of the Virtus.Pro retake here, but still fighting back. It goes down to the 2 versus 1. Olofmeister, 2 kills in this round already, but I don't think he's good for any more.
They've got no smoke grenade, though. He just didn't pull his gun out fast enough. That he could have won that, I think, and I think he'll feel that way as well. It was almost unfortunate for Virtus.Pro because they held on to 2 smoke grenades so late, about 30-second mark. They put one in Pop Dog, put one on the bottom of the B ramp as well, and that was great timing considering the situation. But then the 2 headshots from Olofmeister with the Desert Eagle changed the nature of things on the B bomb site. 3 diffuses in a row for Virtus.Pro. So FaZe are having a certain level of success. That could have been so much more for them, but there's plenty of rounds to play. 2-round lead for Virtus.Pro at the moment. Guardian on the AWP again. This time, it's a lot more equipment for the side. You've got to know, when you're on the higher ground, on the other side of those showers, looking towards the top of B, you really have to know your angles. If you are a centimeter or 2 in the wrong position, you're going to get shot in the head by a Snatchy.
He goes there a lot. He's challenging that position, what, 2 or 3 times now. So you want to be Molotoving that spot every single round of the T side to deny that. If Snatchy is able to pick it so freely, that is a bit of an issue. But still, everyone alive, 5 and 5. As Snacks has control of main entrance. Olofmeister creeping towards the end of Ivy here. No CT presence there at all. Just Mihu watching from the bomb site itself. He's got the AUG, so that's fine. But 1 smoke takes him out of it. They can go towards the backtracks.
There goes the smoke. That will block off Mihu, as we can see. That's fairly annoying for him. They can try to flash through it if they want to go towards Hell to try to catch up with the players, or rather link up with the players coming out T-Con. Typically, the Ivy T-Con split's very strong, so if you're able to deny that,
Good shot.
But the smokes can be quite powerful. And you can see, like, right now, FaZe are very disjointed. It's very hard for them to play together. Rain able to win the 1v1 coming down the ladder. That might be the key here as they start to push forwards, but in comes the flank just as quickly, and it all falls apart. They just couldn't connect this push. Like, you got to come together from at least 2 angles at once, but there were just smokes down everywhere. That smoke sort of blocking Mihu, I feel like that's a really helpful smoke for the CTs in many respects.
This was a fantastic play from Snatchy there. You mentioned it, Dan. A top AWP needs to be in a different position almost every single round. You do not want a solid read on where he'll be. He's then in CT spawn towards upper. He's now going to be at the lower ramp with that shotgun-style AWP. Maybe not the round to deploy this, but it should be fine. He's got backup from upper as well. Even if he dies, they're not going to grab the AWP. So just trying to get a bit of info. No inside rush. He'll fall back. And what has the T's got? They've got 1 smoke and a flash as they still have the bomb and T spawn. It's all off. He's had some great deagle shots so far. Trying to open things up, trying to bait out some grenades with some arbitrary shots towards the Ivy position. Smoke down, so that'll push them right back towards T-spawn by the looks of things.
I like
double
that.
up setup.
The quick bait setup we saw with Snatchy towards B, where he's basically inviting them to try and rush him down to plant the bomb, try and trade the numbers out, but there's an AUG there to clean up if they did go that way. Satisfying to see that kind of thing pay off, but this won't be the round. 1 minute on the clock, and FaZe will still be looking for Desert Eagle shots. And I spoke about this in the Astralis game. A round like this, where Astralis were on the T side just with Deagles, how they try to engage, especially around the entrance to A from A main. They try and put the CTs in positions where they have a very narrow channel to peek, where there's a very reasonable chance they'll get shot in the face.
Flash is good, but Snatchy even better. Nico, that's a fantastic shot with the Deagle. It's going to yield them a plant at least. Flames coming through. Might slow them down, but Adren and that Deagle keeps on pushing down towards the connector, and that's what they have to do here. They need to try and stop the CTs in transition, but it's looking like it's going into the 3 versus 2. If Mihu goes down here, there's still a slight chance. Nico delivers a shot, but so much work to do. Drop by Snacks. Guardian left with no armor, and the Desert Eagle. He's 1-8 right now. Another successful round for VP as we go 7-3. Bomb planted though, and no force buy in the previous round. We should see Guardian on the AWP. He does some fantastic work on the T side of Train, but this double AWP setup of VP is working out very nicely. It's the dynamic play of Snatchy that's very problematic for the international squad. As Guardian picking up the AWP, they've got the AKs, all the utility now, and FaZe need to get on their feet. Remember, they won the pistol and a single gun round since then, and that came down to a 1 versus 1, so no real convincing gun rounds as yet.
I mean, to see that Guardian from the E-League Invitational.
That was wild, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was crazy.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, me and James revisited that recently. That match. So he was just an unstoppable machine on the T side, just winning rounds completely by himself, just ridiculous clutches over and over again with the AWP. And I mean, there he was on a stage. He was already 5 maps deep in the day. Something like that, so we'll have to see if he can summon that strength early here. And Stacks has gone very deep, speaking of which, with his AWP. This is a great angle to have. And it should be good for one. And you expect to catch the Opera on the off angle. He misses the shot, and he will be punished.
Not the cleanest of kills. The FaZe will take him. Still a minute on the clock. Waiting for that CT reaction. Now, that's very wise. Map like this, you might think the CTs will push inside. Maybe sneak up towards Pop Dog, have a look just like this. And that's what FaZe are waiting for, essentially. That reaction. They know the CTs have to get something going in their favor. 5 versus 3 should be a guaranteed round now. But the time running low, there still is a chance of some chaos.
Low time. If they make the way towards A, it's really important for Olofmeister to hold down this position, but he's wrapping towards the B-bomb site. There's no rotation for Virtus.Pro. They're not believing this at all. They're sitting on B, but maybe they're just actually saving in this point. But either way, they're going to be forced into action. The spray, 3 kills, leaving Mihu alone. 13 seconds if he gets this kill. That might be the round if he can avoid Olofmeister, who's on the wrong side of the connector. Nico's going to commit to it, and there is the plant. He just about plants it. Going for the defuse, but Olofmeister will come in for that trade. So many narrow margins there, but it will be the round for FaZe.
So a great idea there from FaZe. They will go for the backstab through CT spawn. Olofmeister gets the all-important kill. They're splitting inside. But Virtus.Pro, knowing the round was away from them, they went for what we call a gamble stack. They put everything they've got towards inside. If they plant outside, we'll save that. If they come inside, we'll fight. 3 kills upon entry. Sure, FaZe win the round, but look how expensive that was. That should have been, what, 4 or 5 players staying alive, potentially, considering the situation in a 5-on-2. It comes down to a 1 versus 1. VP have so much reset potential here, and they're ready to fight for it. Quick footwork from Nico allows them to get close towards the bomb site here, but still not clean kills. Anything but for Snatchy. He gets 2, and now it's up to him to close things out. He's doing a great job here. FaZe look a little bit weak.
Yeah, I mean, Nico getting into that 4 position, Train is very much a case of just snowballing that outer offense. Once you get that first kill, then the other CTs have to like fall back. They start to get exposed. If Nico gets that first kill, and spray down for 2 as well. But yeah, if Nico gets that first kill, it just changes everything. And you would expect him to get that like 9 times out of 10, if not 10 out of 10. So it's definitely a shame because he had I think he was able to fire like 4 bullets before there was a response. So that is definitely a slow start here for FaZe.
Yeah, they're not looking like they're up for this one. VP are impressing me a lot more. Full Glock round for FaZe. 1 flash out. Try and get that plant down. That flash won't do a whole lot. It's actually pretty decent to remove Snacks up from the equation, but still so much backup and maybe 1 kill here for FaZe if they're lucky. Doesn't look like that'll be happening. Just Nico with a Glock now, and he should be taken care of. VP, this looks like a promising team right now. I've seen 1 half of 1 map. Won't get too carried away, but they're playing decent gun rounds.
Yeah, they are. They definitely have preparation as well, as we've seen from some early setups, anticipating certain plays which sometimes came, sometimes didn't come. FaZe Clan, they've got 2 more rounds to get out of this half, and they will have the luxury of holding the angles once they make it to the CT side, so perhaps we will see more of them then, but we'll focus on them now. Guardian with the AWP. They've got a few flashbangs here and there. We've seen them use in a previous round to get through the choke points, take some position. Now they've got more guns behind them. Guardian creeping through the smoke. Did Mihu hear something? I think he might have. Molotov is perfect. Quick look from Guardian, but he's forced away.
Yeah, he wanted to try and get the quick pick there with no armor. The flames down. Just couldn't commit for more than a second. There's Mihu will spray 4th. He's not going to connect, but still a 5-on-5. Olofmeister with a Galil boosted on the server right now. Snatchy's actually snuck in towards the Ivy position. Whether they'll be aware of that, yet to be seen. This will slow things right down. Still plenty of time remaining. Flashbang comes through. Snatchy unable to convert it, but at least confirms that nothing's there for now. Drops a smoke, and that shot confirms he's now got full control.
Yeah, the CT side of Train is pretty basic in many cases, and I think what is most interesting to me is that a lot of teams, they struggle with the T side, because the T side is more complex in how you create openings, how you coordinate timings, and how you split certain positions with good timings. That's the difficulty. That's the thing that people's teams seem to struggle with the most. And you can see, though, if you get a good start on the CT side, it's pretty easy just to play the defense. And Virtus.Pro just doing all that right so far, and FaZe going for that last-ditch attempt here on this B-bomb site. This has to work. There goes an incendiary. I'm not sure that's going to really slow them down. Good entrances from Rain. And that's going to be the special sauce in this round for FaZe.
3v3 retake. Virtus.Pro will not be challenged coming through connector, but Guardian will hold the angles that he wants. Now leaves it 3 versus 2. Trades continue 2 versus 2 now. Guardian continues to be a problem. Mihi with 5 HP. We'll spot Guardian going up the steps. Not much he can do. The flank is coming as well. He has a kit. He's found a 6. That is beautiful. What presence of mind from Mihi. He's got to hold it now. I don't know if Guardian... Never mind.
He's got it. Don't worry. It's all under control.
On the X-ray, it looks like he was in the middle of B halls. I'm like, is he going to make it there?
No, that's such a classic play. If you're ready for them to touch the bomb, knowing they don't have much time, but to fake defuse it, as soon as he touches it, you peek, you don't even give him a chance to react. So that's really well played from Guardian. Much better play from Rain as well. That's fantastic by him. Great entries. And it goes into the final round of the half. And quite a fast first half, I have to say. We are going to see Virtus.Pro with weaponry again. They've barely had to eco this half. So they'll have the Augs, the AWP, this time a single one. Outside execution looking very likely here. They line up all the smokes towards connector, left and right side of the bomb train, and it's Bialy playing on top of said train, ready for 3 players to make their way out. And Bialy will get in front of the smokes as well. He knows what's coming here. They're reading this very well on the CT side.
Nice position around Igor. Just got to wait to see which way they'll go, though. And he's good for one, but now Snacks has to do the job. There's the first. The second is not too bad either. Down to 6 HP. They spotted the bomb as well. He can't make his way forwards, but he can take a position defensively pretty effectively whilst his teammates set up at the perimeter. And now it's just Guardian left to try to break that perimeter as he pushes forwards with that AWP. And where does he have to look? He knows there's one towards Held. Finds him. Frags him. Now 2 more for Guardian to find. We talked about the clutches on Train with that AWP. This is the round where he could be able to pull it off. He's got a smoke and 2 flashbangs and doesn't anticipate the player from Pop. And that's a 10-5 start there. First half for Virtus.Pro on the CT side. That's not a bad look, but you better believe that also FaZe can do the same on their second half.
They absolutely can. It's definitely not the best half from FaZe. They're quite fortunate they win the pistol there. Slowed right down, but I'm more interested in the positive aspects of VP. This is looking pretty solid for them. This lineup makes sense. You can see the roles. You can see Snatch, he's taking the game into his own hands, not being told what to do. You can see very clearly he's happy to go take challenges against Guardian. He's got a lot of confidence right now, which bodes well for the squad. We'll see how this one transpires as we head into the second half here. One defuse kit and a smoke, both in the hands of Olofmeister there. And VP focusing towards inside. They've got a Molotov, a post-plant situation there. 3 of them towards Brown Halls. Maybe going for a backstab, actually a classic VP approach. 2 players at Ivy, waiting to go CT side potentially. As they get Brown Hall's control, that's the cue for Bialy to either wait for CT aggression or start his maneuver towards the Ivy spot. Nico, here comes the push. This is what they're waiting for.
Nothing just yet. And now something. Double peek. Oh, straight in the face.
He can recover this.
Maybe through someone, but there we go. Finished off. First player taken out. Not too much information other than that. A cursory look from FaZe towards Ivy. But there's no detectable reaction by Virtus.Pro, although the aggression seems to be increasing towards the B-bomb site. Guardian is that rare reason sticker. Having a quick look. Spawning one. A bit nervous on the trigger finger maybe. 2 players moving back, 4 players moving in. Make it 5. Virtus.Pro charging all over the site now. The bomb is yet to make its way down. Quick reload from Guardian, 1v1. Can he do more damage? Almost, not quite. Man advantage Virtus.Pro.
Quite a substantial one as well. A 3-on-2 with the bomb planted. There is a kill, but Olofmeister half HP. Pressure really on Rain for the heavy lifting here. Nice positioning from the T waiting on the other side, but it looks like they've done enough here. Where's the access point for the CTs? Looking for anyone to make a mistake here. Is there anything to be said? Olofmeister gets one. He has a smoking kit, remember, but Snatchy, perfect flank kit, brings it right down to a very difficult situation. There's the smoke on top of the bomb. Needs to find this quick kill. I'd say defuse now, but Snacks will deny everything. They pick up the second half pistol, and it's going to be Snacks with 3 kills, 11-5 overall. Now, this is the big question. Do you force buy if you're FaZe right now? And a resounding yes comes through.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a great map to force buy on the CT side of as well, especially considering Guardian can get that scouts. And not only that, you know, you're down a lot of rounds, and you want your first buy to have AWPs. Like, you want to start with a bang when you start buying. You don't want to have this weird buy where you don't have enough utility. You know, maybe someone's stuck on a FAMAS, the best you can get is an AUG. And then if they play a slow round, they burn out your utility, and then they just have just a huge advantage on entrance to the bomb sites. So I think this makes, all across the board, to me, this makes by far the most sense for FaZe.
Well, this is going to be a timeout, I think, technical. Be weird to take tactical in the second round. So we're back into the action. Have they fully invested? Pretty much just Olofmeister, who's yet to buy anything. He's the top fragger right now on 14 kills and 15 deaths. Still with a USP. AK is being purchased by VP. They can get the 3-0 here. They're in a fantastic position to close out this first map. It's Inferno second. It's a single elimination best of 3 here. This week's bracket. VP versus FaZe in the first round. We had Astralis versus LDLC earlier, which saw Astralis going through to the semi-final. Need to win 2 more best of 3s on their current path to qualify for the finals. So a completely new format. We'll maybe go over that a bit more later on. But for now, here's the force by 2 scouts, 3 deagles, and a couple of smokes and HEs. A difficult round for FaZe to win, but if they can do it, they're right back in this game.
Double scouts could be quite painful for Virtus.Pro. An unwanted trip to the doctor. Nobody wants those jabs. They do kind of look like syringes.
What does?
They don't really.
The scouts?
The scouts. I mean, they kind of... No, they don't. Okay. I want them to, but they don't. Let's just leave it there.
I see what you went for.
I miss the days where down towards Ivy you could stand on the pigeons and it would launch you into the skybox.
The days, you make it sound like it was years and years we had that privilege. I think it was 1 week or something. It was 1 week. It was a lot of fun.
These are the things I enjoyed the most, Henry.
What about the RA week? Did you like that one?
That was fantastic.
Or when
we discovered that together on Inferno.
Right.
That was the most... You were raging. It was hilarious. Even though we were on the same team and we were the ones abusing the CTs, he was still mad. Glorious times. There's the jab. But Bialy says no. No fun plaster and a lolly for me. You will FaZe their own medicine. 40 seconds remain, and there are 3 players on the B bomb site where Virtus.Pro are headed. There's a HE on Rain. This could be very, very interesting indeed. They've got some weird angles, but will they have the right timing?
Adren needs to be baited in here. The flashbang's decent, but the shots are not. Rain needs to find multiple kills, and the Deagle not really the weapon to do it. Guardian left alive. A couple of players tagged. That's Mihu and Bialy, but the round looks like it's slipping away. CT's is actually retreating at this stage as they hold in towards CT spawn. Got to sniff around. They might as well see what can be done at this point, but the smoke down. Oh my god. That's a shot. Will I get them anything further? I'm not sure, but Nico, great work. But still, the pressure's too much. The MAC-10 removes him, and Guardian will recover the Deagle and fall back.
It's a shame they're all 1 scout shot from death as well. But yeah, it was a great, well-planned round from Virtus.Pro. You know, it's the classic way you want to try to win a round against, like a dodgy round against some kind of a force buy or even an eco. You know, the path from the halls into B down that ramp and a plant is that's a very short distance.
Yeah.
So you only really have to worry about that 1 or 2 choke points, and just that. And once you've done that, you've got the bomb down, and they have to come to you. Suddenly, the force buy is so much worse. So if you can find a way to do that, it's very effective and very safe.
We're going to see the A main airstrike, perhaps. There's only one player really headed in this direction. They haven't thrown him just yet. I think it's common to just blast them into the A main position, but delaying them and throwing them elsewhere could be an idea as well. Towards Olofmeister they go, but there's no one there for the time being. Mihu making inroads towards the A site. He's got a fair amount of information, but might still be a gamble if they went for a fast push, but they'll do it anyway. Charging in with these AK-47s, nullifying FaZe's opportunities to react, to be preemptive. Now they come pushing forwards, taking the entire train yard. Good stuff so far. Virtus.Pro in a very strong position for the first map, and I think that'll be very promising to Polish fans. It's a brand that has been important to Poland, of course.
And it's
well
Inferno next, which at times has been a difficult map for FaZe. It's certainly got better. It's one of their go-tos at this point, but they have their weaknesses on it. So this could be a very exciting series. That's if VP can pick this map up. They've still got a long way to go. Sure, they're going to be up 13-5 here, but to close out a game against FaZe is a very difficult task indeed. They're very tenacious, always battling until the very final round, and we'll see what they've got here going forward. The problem I've got right now for FaZe is Guardian. On a very AWP-centric map like Train, he hasn't really got going at all. 7 and 14, whereas Snatchy, he's in 20 kills. And that paints a picture as to why this has gone so wrong. You've got one AWPer who is really up for it. Nothing really to lose. VP's been out of the conversation as a top team for a long period of time, looking to prove themselves. And I'm actually impressed. It's the first time I've said this about VP in a long time. They look like they've done their homework, and they're ready to actually put the hard graft in and put that theory side of the game, which a lot of teams have maybe neglected as of late. But this is looking very good as they look to close it out early on. 13-5, but a full buy to break down first.
So some IV presence early on here for VP. And you know, as you press IV, you can pull Olofmeister back, force him back. That will generally force back positions from any CTs that may be playing very, very close to the front. So, for example, positions like Pop Dog and T main. But we can see that what happened here is that Olofmeister's actually still got control of IV. He's not really been pushed away. And FaZe still holding on to their default setup as VP start moving around, looking for B hits. But there will be a fast flank, and there are 2 players inner here for FaZe. So FaZe have a pretty strong opportunity to hold this. As long as they can prevent VP from taking over T-Con, CT connector, that is, they should be fine.
Moving through now, Guardian resetting the position. That's a lovely angle from him. Dren hasn't revealed his cards just yet. Now he has, but he won't get a kill. Done some good damage, however. But now we've got some plays being entertained on the A-bomb site, where we have a flank coming in from Virtus.Pro. They're moving through into the B-bomb site position. This could get very interesting indeed. Snacks having a look from up top, taking Rain's head off. And there is that flank being activated slowly but surely. Does he execute the first player? He'll spot him up top. Second player, now he's got all the information. Really awkward for Nico. FaZe running out of opportunities on Train versus Virtus.Pro.
I think they are. This is a great round from VP. The flank was beautiful. FaZe making mistakes here as well. They get the nice picks from Guardian. I feel like Dren maybe overcommits to denying the plant. At that point, when you're the only player there and transitional players are, what 5-10 seconds away, you're better off just letting them plant and attacking in numbers instead of risking the fact you're going to die and get nothing from it. Actually allowed VP back into that round and get a bit more positional control. If Dren stays alive there, they can't push any closer. And sure, he doesn't deny the plant, but he stays alive and contains him within that area. 14-5. And they have to go CZs, Deagles, Armor. It really isn't looking good as they lose the first pick once again. This is for map points. And 3 kills make it 4 out of nowhere. This is a dismantlement of FaZe right now.
Yeah. And that was the 3v5 as well from VP at the end of the last round.
That's what I'm talking about. That's Dren just needs to stay alive there, right? Just let them plant, use power and numbers to close it out. At this point, you're just looking for the rounds on the board. That's it.
Yeah, so this is kind of the problem with FaZe that we have seen is just like a general disjointedness. And one thing that I would like to see is I would really like to... For me, like, with FaZe, I see, like, the Shocks thing all over again in some respects. Just seeing... Like, whenever I see Shocks, you know, being the in-game leader, right? I'm just thinking to myself, I would just love to see Shocks just get to be Forest. You know, get to just do what he does, and that's just what he does. And then you get to see his peak and his real level. And you get someone else being the brains behind the machine. And
Yeah.
I feel like that for Nico sometimes too. We know how good Nico is.
He does generally perform consistently though. But I don't think it's a mouse ball situation where it's like, you 4 guys stand over here and I'll try and kill everyone.
Yeah.
I think Yanko will certainly help though, and I think that will take the pressure off. Obviously you're limited in your timeouts and so on, but where we've heard them with the timeouts, it's created a lot of short-term structure for FaZe, and we saw some pretty good executes of that at the E-League Invitational, so we'll see how that plays out over time. Virtus.Pro at game point in the first map of this best-of-3 series. They're a man down though.
Who was it that played the final there? It was Cloud9, right? That was
Yeah.
the final, and they'd already lost to a series to them.
Yeah.
I didn't know, I was thinking I was away for that tournament, but yeah, good victory at the start of the year, but hasn't really set them up for what we had hoped, perhaps. But either way, this is the best of 3. They're probably not going to get 10 rounds in a row, but we'll see. Opening pick for Olofmeister. Now it's towards Ivy. It funneled them towards inside. Adren anchoring right now towards in. And needs to be careful where it gets hit. Down to 6 HP. That's not ideal, but a good grenade to follow up, and he does fall back.
It's always really dangerous to try to shoulder peek that, because what people do is they do just pre-fire within AWP these days. And it's so common. Guardian the first shot, we see him repositioning. Ooh, that's not bad, is it? Okay, well, come back from this. 3 versus 5 again, but Snatchy's making it happen.
Same problem. They've got the advantage, and then it's over-committing and not letting people help them out. Let them plant.
Snacks can hear the scope. He knows or someone of AWP is close. Not sure if there's a position to flash for him once again, or is there? Can come to his teammates, build expectations. Spouts 2 targets, gets taken out. FaZe have to win this. Moving through the oil position. They continue to get the frag. Snatchy with the Molotov. There's no smoke grenade for the CT side. There's no kit either. They're just going to stand in the flames. That is disastrous for them. And I think that's it. I think that is the game. There isn't time, surely.
Oh, wow.
Or is that? Oh, it's going to be a close one.
No,
I don't think he's got it, though.
No way. You do hate to see that.
Wow.
It's so frustrating. They did a great job to actually get back in that round, but I say it again, it's just that commitment when you've got... It's an advantage there. You haven't got your manpower. There's maybe overcommitting. Great shots from Snatchy, but...
Well played.
Yeah, what a game that was. I don't think anyone could have called that. Virtus.Pro 16... Was it 16-5 in the end?
It was. It was 16-5.
That's
FaZe
nuts.
did not pick up a single round in the second half.
That is insane, isn't it?
This is,
well,
this
it's
is
promising.
So awesome.
I mean, we look at it from the FaZe point of view because they're the big brands at the moment, but it's promising for Virtus.Pro. Bear in mind the struggles that they've had for the longest time. I think that's good.
What is this music?
It's a bit Star Wars, isn't it? It's a bit,
it's
a bit intergalactic force coming to take our women.
Well, I like it either way. But I'd rather focus on the positives here at VP. I think they presented a very strong game there. You can't really poke any holes in it. There was no individual going off for them. Everyone committing to their role, doing a great job. Some clever plays there. Mihu, a player we needed to see more from when he first joined this roster. 26 kills to his name. Snatchy, you guys love him. You wanted to see more from him in his AWP. He delivered on all fronts. He was dynamic. He was aggressive. He was efficient. When he hit his shots, he fell back as well. Guardian barely got going there. Scraped together 10 at the end, but remember, those last 2 or 3 rounds, he got 2 or 3 kills, and those rounds weren't picked up. So that is a little bit worrying for FaZe, but it is the first map. It's a best of 3, but this is dangerous territory now for FaZe. After disappointing, I would say,
Gonna put that somewhere,
got your bloody milkshake out, Dan. Do you have any respect for the studio?
No one would have noticed that unless you point it. It blends in. It's exactly
no one would have
the same
noticed
color.
it in the middle of the screen. Can we have a B check? Can we have a top-down B check? He's managed to remove the B with
Do we get a zoom?
So,
do a zoom on that?
So this is
the B is dead, just to be clear. They're not just tuning in.
The B is dead.
Been dead a while. It's a very old B.
Do a zoom on that camera?
It died of natural causes. No one attacked it here.
Yeah,
I think so. The working theory is that it tried to attack me.
No, look how old that thing is. Look and pick it up. Look how old
it tried to pollinate you, Dan.
Look how old it is.
Yeah, look, it looks decrepit.
I don't know if it will focus. Where am I going this way?
Closer.
No, it's not going to focus because the focus is on the table. So yeah, enough about that. You saw it on Dan earlier. You have to just be satisfied with that. I certainly was.
I'm satisfied when I'm in the studio with you guys. It's always a lot of fun. And that was the first map. We have Inferno second. Before we take a quick break, do you feel like VP are going to look as efficient on that map? What do you think? I was impressed with that one. They've been doing.
Henry, we're going to do a ramen bet on it.
I'm quite full right now. I just had a wrap.
No more
so I can't. Maybe
bets.
tomorrow we'll do some ramen bets. I feel like Virtus.Pro, you have to bear in mind, they haven't been to a tournament in a long time, right? They've been grinding behind the scenes, behind the curtain, when the maid is on, everyone's watching that. They've been putting the man hours in. I can see that. They could 2-0 this. That's an actual possibility.
Yeah, it's a journey of discovery for sure, and I look forward to seeing it.
Well, then, we've got a social media recap, and Dan, after that display, you're going to have to do this one, I'm afraid. So talk us through how people can get involved. We barely get any tweets as it is, so encourage them to communicate with us.
Can obviously, over the course of the show, you tend to see on the lower thirds our Twitters, but at ECS is the ECS official Twitter as well. So you can tag all of us and ECS if you want to join in on the discussion, if you have any thoughts on the matches, or if you want to ask any questions to any of us.
I'll tell you what we'll do
here in the studio.
After this game is finished, we'll do 3 questions. I'll pick 3 good ones for you two to answer. So that's an incentive. Get involved. Send some questions in. Good ones. Maybe one funny one, and we'll go from there. How about that?
All right, sounds good.
Just
sounds
encourage
good.
some interaction.
Seems legit.
We'll take a break and be back with Inferno just after this.